Okay, so the reason I decided to do a bonus module is because there's a lot of changes going on in the social media realm. And there's been some new strategies that I've been working on personally and working a little bit, just starting to introduce it to the team and everything. And it's been quite exciting. So I thought, okay, what better way than to get more people producing than we already have than to share that. So tonight I'm going to be sharing with you some Facebook recruiting and LinkedIn recruiting strategies. Very, very exciting. And we'll talk about that. So before I do, I just wanted to show you this picture right here because this was actually the meeting that we hosted last night for our team. And this was a top income earner that come down and helped build us locally. So this is a guy that's making multiple seven figures per year in our business. And this is just the power of building a local team and what can happen. When you do that, you attract these leaders to come down and it really adds credibility to you. I know we talked about that in Module 1. So just know that building locally, it can be a little more work than, trying to build something outside of your area. It absolutely can. But it is so worth it because it just duplicates and catches on like a wildfire. So about a third, cool thing about this picture is about a third of these people, not all of them by any means, but about a third of these people were introduced in some way, shape, or form through Facebook. And and a couple of our guests that we had last night were from the Facebook strategies. So I thought that was really neat and just share with you the power of what can really happen here. Another thing I'll mention before I get into the training is I am pregnant. I know most of you probably know that. So with that being said, I do get winded quite easily. So it doesn't mean I'm excited, I'm pumped up, I've got tons of energy, but I can get a little out of breath. So if I need to drink some water or possibly just take a breather, just bear with me. I'm not collapsing or having a heart attack or anything. It's just the baby taking all of the breath out of me. So I wanted to mention that. Okay, so I'm going to cover some things. By the way, I know some of you are asking questions. That's awesome. Try to keep those until the very end so I don't miss them because I want to make sure I get to them at the end and they be in the end of the feed of the question box, okay? So keep them and I'll probably answer a lot of your questions as well. But this is what we're going to cover tonight. Again, like I said, some of you have some really good questions that I felt I should answer, and some of them were very similar. So a lot of you had the same types of questions, mainly 3 of them that I really wanted to cover tonight. Facebook updates. There are some updates that will definitely apply to you, so I want to go over those. LinkedIn profile setup, targeted search, and prospecting. So pumped up to talk about this. And I know previously I had said that LinkedIn, I wasn't a big fan of it because it was spammy, okay? And I totally still stand by that. I'm going to go into my actual inbox and show you all the spam that I get every day, okay? It's pretty intense. And, I kept thinking about it. And with all the changes that Facebook's going through right now, and I'm sure a lot of you have experienced that, with all the changes they're going through, I thought, instead of me looking at LinkedIn as, something that I really don't want to learn and dive into, I need to look at that as opportunity because it really, if you have a bunch of spam in your inbox or you get people that are spamming you all the time, when you do something different, it stands out in a big, big way. And there's an unlimited amount of people you can talk to. It's just got some really cool features. And you'll never ever meet anybody besides Ray and I that invest more than in ourselves. Ray and I have invested multiple 6 figures in the past couple of years in coaching and courses, and I'm talking a lot of money. And one of those was on LinkedIn and to start getting our LinkedIn really ramped up. And I wanted to understand what was going on there and what our coaches were doing for that. So I got in and started using it, and holy cow, it worked incredibly, and it's a great tool. So I really wanted to teach you guys that, and that's kind of how that came to be, but we'll talk about that. Some new scripts, very, very simple. Everything I'm going to teach you tonight, you can use all the scripts that we've talked about thus far, but some new ones just for a more professional audience like you'll see on LinkedIn, and also for the subject lines. And then again, guys, make sure you stay until the very end, and I'm not going to keep you too long tonight, okay? But I do have a very special surprise. I'm so excited, and we'll get to that. So here is one of the major questions that I've been getting from people, okay? What if I don't have a lot of mutual friends to message? What do I do? Raise your hand if that was something that came up for you. Let me just see what we've got on here. Just raise your little hand on your webinar box. Okay. Not too many of you, but definitely a good chunk. Okay. So this was a question I kept seeing come up over and over and over again, and wanted to make sure I addressed it. First of all, when you look at this type of question, what I see when I see this question is, okay, this is an excuse. This is an excuse to halt my business. This is an excuse not to get into activity, an excuse not to take action. Okay, here's my answer to that. If you don't have a network, you need to build one. And I love, love, love what Eric Worre says about this. He says you're either punished or rewarded for the work you've done prior to getting into this industry, okay, to getting into this profession. Those of you that have taken the time to be givers, to, work, to build your network, to really mutually benefit people and start that early on, you will benefit when you get into the business right away. For those of you like me, when I first started, who really weren't giving a lot of yourself or really weren't connecting with a lot of people and putting yourself out there, and you didn't have any network, you need to go build one. This should not ever be an excuse not to get into action for your business. Okay, does that make sense? I'm not trying to yell at you. I'm trying to help you. Okay, so 2 to 3 people a day, just understand this. This is and I say long-term, quote unquote, but I really mean 12 to 36 month strategy. 12 to 36 months, and you can be completely financially free. 2 to 3 people a day consistently is an extra 730 to 1,095 friends per year that you're adding into your network. And the way that we teach throughout this entire course that you've gone through is these people aren't just random people that you add to your friends, okay? These are people you've reached out to, you've made a connection with, you've actually looked at their profile. It doesn't take that long, but trust me, the more you build this, the more friends you have, the easier it will get. The easier it will get. You'll have more mutual friends, you'll have more of a network, and more people will start to see your posts and start to reach out to you as well, which gets really, really exciting. But in the beginning, guys, I had to build this one person at a time. And you can't look at, what I have now or what other people that are making this work in a big way have now, because you don't know where they've been. If you don't have a huge network, we'll go out and build one and use the strategies that we teach to do that. And at the same time, if you're prospecting while you're building, trust me, you will get signups and you will get people in your business and you will start to build a local team. Another thing to do is to reach out to local fan pages and groups, okay? So what do I mean when I say that? Just Google or just search in the Facebook search different fan pages and things that are in your area. For example, I live close to Naples in Florida, so I searched Naples real estate. Look at all the groups that come up. It's just insane. And look at how many people are in those groups. A ton of people. Just start networking in there. Start getting connected. Here's a great way to do that is look at the post and look at the people that like those posts, okay? The people that like those posts, you can actually click on that, and what will happen is all the people that like that post will come up. So this is a great way for you. Now, even though Facebook doesn't like you adding all these people at once, okay? So I wouldn't go through and add, 20 people at a time here. like I said, 2 to 3 a day. And if you're really ambitious, you can go 5 to 10 a day, but spread it out throughout the day, okay? But 2 to 3 a day will help you create a network. And the more you do that, the easier and easier it'll get to start friending people. So I never want you to use technology or lack of or your current circumstance as an excuse to not move forward. Okay, please don't do that, because what's going to happen is there's going to be, once we get past this hurdle, there's going to be something that comes up again, right? Facebook, social media, it's always changing. Always, always, always. Technology, everything. It's going to come up again. So I'd rather teach you kind of more how to think than what to think. So how do you think you should get past this? Do some research. Google it, YouTube it, ask in the Facebook group. We have a fantastic Facebook group on this course. I pop in there when I can to answer things, but there's a lot of people that have gotten great results that are in there answering questions. It's a fantastic community. Make sure you're doing your research to get past this hurdle and become a master at this. Don't just become a jack of all trades and try and do a bunch of different things. I want you to master this and take the time and effort so that when you're making those 6 figures, it's not a surprise, or even those 7 figures. Does that make sense? Awesome. Okay, we're all on the same page. Very, very cool. Here's another question that I got a lot. How many of you had this one? A few of you. Yeah, more so of you. My messages keep going into the other folder. How do I message people in their inbox and not get banned? Again, more of a technical question, okay? So I don't want you to hold this up for you in the future, because I don't know. LinkedIn, Instagram, if they ever start a messaging system, all these different social media platforms, they could change their rules like that, right? They could change them in an instant, and you'll have to figure out how to get past this, okay? So what I did, and when I first learned about the other folder and things, what I did is I did my research, and I started testing it and seeing how I could get around it instead of just letting it stop my activity completely. So here's my answer to that. In Module 1 and 2, I mentioned pay the dollar, right? If you can pay $10 a week, sacrifice 2 cups of coffee from Starbucks, $10 a week to put into your business for really qualified prospects, you'll be happy that you did, but you have to do it consistently. Use the Messenger app. It's a great way for the other people that have Messenger as well, which most people do. It's a great way to start reaching out to people and get more interaction out there. There is a limit, but it's much less limited than if you're doing it from your computer and trying to message a bunch of people. The Messenger app is awesome, and I use it all the time. Like we talked about from the first question, grow your friends list, okay? Very important. Friends of friends, fan pages. You can reach out to fan pages, no problem. So just be aware that Facebook is touchy, okay? But if you do things in the right way, number one, you'll stand out, right? Just like I was talking about with LinkedIn, I seek opportunity there, and my mindset wasn't really correct on that, and I'll admit that. So here, you just have to seek opportunity. Apply the same principles to a different platform, okay, to get your numbers out. And we're going to talk about this, and I'm just so excited about it because I know you guys are going to love it. Okay. Question number 3. What if they say they want to see more information? How many of you have gotten this from your prospect? Okay, let me see a show of hands. How many have had a prospect say, I want more information? Yeah, that would be pretty much all of us. Pretty much all of us have had a prospect say that. And I talked about this many times, but I want to reiterate it. There's a couple of different avenues you can take here. One, I highly recommend going back and watching Terry's interview. As a bonus with this product, you got an interview with Terry in your customer hub available to you, and Terry Grimaud. And it's fantastic because one of the things he mentions is you don't always have to answer people's questions directly. Just because they ask you a question doesn't mean there's not ways around it. Okay, so he talks about that, and it's really, really cool to see him and how he's taken this strategy and run with it to get some signups. If you use words like usually and typically, again, I've talked about this before, but want to reiterate, It's very, very powerful. And I actually learned this from Ray. And I forget who he learned it from, but doesn't really matter. It's so powerful because it shares social proof with people. So if I say, well, usually I like to meet someone in person to find out if it's a fit. Totally fine if you're not comfortable with that, but that's usually what I like to do. Does that sound good to you? Okay, very non-aggressive, postured, but non-aggressive. Typically what I do is I meet with you, go over everything. If you like it, great. If not, no big deal. Is there a time at Starbucks that works for you? Okay, again, kind of postured, right? But not super aggressive. That's what you want to go forward with. If you're too aggressive when you try and meet with someone, they won't meet with you. And you can ask anybody who's taken this course and has met with someone and gotten them signed up. And if you just search in the group, you'll find some people that have mentioned this. They had to tweak their approach a little bit when they wanted to actually meet with someone to be a little less aggressive. Okay. But still at the same point, if they still don't want to meet, then that's okay. If you feel more comfortable showing a video or information before meeting someone in person, then go for it. And sometimes this will save you time. I know that if you can get in front of someone, your closing ratio does go up. They know you're real. They know they can talk to you face to face. They feel more comfortable with you. However, if you just want to go through more numbers, we had a lady that took the course and all she did was Skype chats. That's fine. Get someone on a Skype chat. Get someone on the phone. We had another person who actually was booking 5 to 10 phone appointments a week. And guess what? He was getting signups. Of course he was. So it doesn't matter, what you're doing. Just understand the difference. And then once you get them on the video, you could then meet with them afterwards. Once you sign them up, you can meet with them afterwards. If they're local, which is what we teach here, right? I highly, highly recommend meeting with them in person at some point so that you can help them start to duplicate and build. And that goes into modules 3 and 4. Okay. So it's not a must to meet someone in person. You will have a higher closing ratio. It's perfectly okay though to go through more numbers and get them on the video or get them on a Skype chat and do it that way. And we have people seeing success either way. So just wanted to touch on that. Okay. Sound good? Perfect. So let me go over some updates. And there's really not a ton of updates on messaging people per se, but I feel that these updates will definitely help you at least to get your posts seen more and to get you more friends and more of a network. So I wanted to include them. In the news feed, here's some cool things. You're going to start seeing multiple posts in a row from the same person. I don't know if you realize this, but previously, when you were on the messenger or when you were in your news feed, you wouldn't see multiple posts from the same person usually because Facebook thought, well, just put out 1 or 2 a day and it'll be fine. Now they're starting to realize that people, if they have a good connection with someone, they want to see their posts if they post, multiple times a day or whatever. So they're showing more of those, and that's good for you because it means that the more consistent you are, the more people will see your posts, and they'll see multiple posts from you, which is really cool. People you care about are going to start showing up at the tippy top. Now, what does people you care about mean? And I put this in quotations because that's Facebook's exact wording. People you care about are people's profiles you visit, are people's things that you like, that you share, that you comment on. So if you're posting interesting content and you're interacting, you're going to get your post to show up at the top of someone's news feed. Okay, so you want to do whatever you can to get someone to look at your stuff. Here's the other cool thing about this, okay? With what we're teaching in this course and with what you've been doing this entire time, when you reach out to someone, what did I tell you they're going to do? They're going to look at your profile, right? That's probably one of the first things they're going to do to make sure you're not a creepy pedophile, okay? So when they look at your profile, that sends a little radar to Facebook of, hey, this person's looking at our profile. Maybe we should show his or her stuff in their newsfeed. So that's really cool that they're starting to recognize that. And with what we're doing, that's only going to help you more. So make sure you're interacting to get more traction. Make sure you're posting fun stuff to get more people to look at your stuff and like, share, and comment. We've always said this, but now more than ever, they're realizing that because people's networks are growing so fast, the people that you interact with the most, those are the people that they're going to show on your newsfeed. So it comes full circle for you. This is a really interesting one. The quicker you respond to people's comments on your page, the more Facebook likes that. Isn't that interesting? So they want to make sure not only that people are active on your stuff, but that you're responding, you actually care, you're engaging, and you're doing it quickly. So, I know a lot of you have jobs and things like that, but I'll tell you, some of you, okay, and you know who you are, aren't even checking this stuff once a day. You're just kind of letting it go. You do it for a couple days, then you let it go for a week, then you do it a couple more. At least check once a day to make sure, if you have to block out a time or whatever, your lunch break, to make sure you're responding to people and checking to see if you even have leads. Somebody reached out to me in the course, and they said that, they were really bummed out because they reached out to a bunch of people and they actually got some appointments, but whenever they were posting, nobody was commenting on their stuff as far as their meetings and things. Because remember, I believe in Module 2, I talk about how to get people to your meetings. And so I checked out their stuff, and they were doing everything right in the messenger part, but on their actual page, they weren't responding to people at all. And they had people that were asking them about the meeting on their actual page. No lie. They were asking about the meeting and asking them how they can get more information. But because they didn't see that in their inbox, they thought, oh, I'm not getting any leads. Trust me, they were getting leads. They just needed to respond and actually check their stuff. So make sure you do that, because you never know who's watching. Okay. Here's something directly from the Facebook guidelines for posting. Post consistently. Being consistent in the quality and types of posts you create can basically boost the amount of people that see your stuff. Okay, so there's been some controversy on this. I've heard people say you should only post once a day. I've heard people say you should post 12 times a day. You want to post consistently, whatever amount of times per day that means for you. I recommend that you post a lot. I really do, because that's going to put you on Facebook's radar, and most of the big gurus do recommend that. But if you only can post twice a day, then at least do it consistently. Here's another one that's really cool, and I'll actually I'll show this to you in a second on my actual page, but they added this to fan pages. So I realize that a lot of you have a fan page and a lot of you don't. So if you don't have a fan page, don't worry about this. But if you do, this is something really neat that for free, you can really target who's seeing your stuff. And if you target to a more specific audience, that means that it could show up to more people actually, because Facebook isn't trying to show it to everyone and anyone, and rating your stuff based on how many likes it gets versus rating your stuff based on how many likes it gets to the specifically targeted people. I hope that made sense. I know that was a lot to get out. So for example, if I'm posting about this new shake recipe, okay, this new shake recipe to help women lose 5 pounds, and I post it on Facebook and it goes to men and women, well, more women are going to like that than men. So what Facebook recognizes is, oh, I sent this out to 1 million people and only this many liked it, okay? However, if you only target women on your page and you only have 10,000 women on your page, and out of 10,000 women, the same amount liked it, guess what? Facebook's going to say, okay, so she only targeted 10,000 people and that many liked it. That's pretty cool. So this can really, really help you get some stuff boosted. And I'll show you exactly how to do this in a second. Okay, and then I'll get into LinkedIn Live demo here, and we can get into the really, really fun stuff. Okay, so how many of you, just out of curiosity, how many of you actually have a LinkedIn profile right now? Let me see a show of hands, or just say yes in the chat box. Do a lot of you, a lot of you on LinkedIn? Okay. I'd say about half. Perfect. Then this is really, really good. This will show you kind of from start to finish how to set this up properly and do the right things. So I'm on my page here, and let me just show you this targeted post thing real quick that Facebook did. It's really neat. Some of you may have this, some of you may not yet. What you need to do is you need to go up to your settings, okay? And in your settings, you need to go to targeting and privacy for posts. Settings at the top of your fan page, targeting and privacy for posts, and turn that on, okay? So click it, turn it on. If it says it's off, then this won't work. Then go back to your fan page here. And what you're going to see when you post is now this little icon is going to come up. And it says set a newsfeed audience for this post. So if I click that, then I can start selecting my targeting. Pretty cool. Gender, I can put in men or women, right? And see how the numbers change? Pretty cool. And then I can add location. So if you're posting for a meeting, you know, I want to target, let's say, oh, I got to put in my country, United States, Naples. There you go. Okay, see how the numbers change? So at least it's targeted to 40, but guess what? It's targeted to the right people, okay? And as your fan page grows, more and more this will happen. Those of you that don't have this for your fan page, don't worry about it. And those of you who don't have a fan page, don't worry about this. It's just a cool thing for those of you that do. Okay, so let's dive into LinkedIn here and just kind of switch gears. I highly recommend at this point, grab a nice cool drink of water, pull out your pen and paper, because I'm going to be sharing some stuff with you that I think you'll really, really like, and that's really, really important. So I'm logged into my LinkedIn here, and I just want to go over the profile bit real briefly. There's a lot of different things you can do here. LinkedIn has just an unbelievable amount of profile stuff that you can mess around with, but I want to go over the really important parts. Number one, when you're setting up your profile, you want to make sure that you have something really catchy in your headline. Okay, this should not be, I'm a part of, XYZ company. That should not be what this is. Something catchy, and also think about keywords in here. By the way, this is just my profile on LinkedIn. This is me viewing it as me, okay? If I want to see what other people see, all I have to do is switch to connections. This is what my connections on LinkedIn see. Or I can switch to public. This is what somebody not on LinkedIn would see. And that's pretty cool. So if I just send out my LinkedIn profile to get connected with people, this is what they would see. But for purposes of this, let's go back to what you will see so you can actually edit this and so forth. So make sure that you have a keyword in your headline as well. What do I mean by keyword? I mean if somebody's searching for something on a searching engine, or like Google, or they're trying to search for something on LinkedIn, that it appeals to that type of person. That's why I have social media marketer in here and home business in here, product launches in here. That's what I want people to be searching for. And then, maybe my profile will come up so they can find me. And I'm just getting, in the past couple months or so, I'm just getting started on this. And it's the amount of just connections and things that I've been able to do, it's pretty incredible. So this is really, really important right here. You guys can fill out whatever you want. Your category to be, again, pretty important. Down here, honors and awards, that's cool. Everything, the more you fill out on your profile, the more people are going to be able to find you. So just keep that in mind. Let's see. One awesome thing about LinkedIn that I love is you can do posts. You can actually write content on here. So for those of you that don't have a blog yet, or maybe you just want to experiment with something different, this is a great way to get people attracted to you and to really establish yourself as an expert. So you can literally go on here and click write a new post and write an article on something and create a fun image and publish it and get it out to, you know, your Facebook people or whatever. This is a fantastic alternative for those of you that don't write a blog. I recommend doing this about 2 times per week, or even once per week, but 2 times per week would be ideal, just to start getting this content out here. And I haven't even tested this that much yet, but I can tell you I have a really, really good feeling based on some things that I've been reading and studying, that this is a great, great way to start getting some leads into your business. And I'll probably come out with some updates on that as I'm moving forward. But yeah, this is just a great way for you to start establishing yourself as an expert. So let me go back here. So you may want to think about doing a post. Your summary, again, should have some keywords in it, okay? And this should tell your story. This should not be, just like we talk about on your social media attractor factor checklist, very, very similar. The cool thing about your summary as well is if you do have any content, you can upload it here, okay? So I have a video here. You can upload articles, whatever you want, or you can just leave it so that people know how to contact you and you kind of tell your story and how you can help them, what you're doing on LinkedIn, what your purpose is here. Okay, so take some time to really think about this. And again, remember to include the same keywords in here that you do have up here. But I would say out of everything, the most important is your headline. That's really, really important. Okay, experience. You guys are smart. Put whatever you think fits here. For me, I put, you know, our rank, and then I put network marketer, internet marketer, those type of things. One thing that's cool that you can do underneath this category. So if I want to put network and internet marketer as a category that people can find me under, also entrepreneur, you can also put like a little blurb about what exactly that means. So this is what I put. I teach people how to generate leads with less than a half an hour a day on social media. Pretty attractive, right? Somebody that sees that, if they search entrepreneur or network or internet marketer, is going to look at that and say, I wonder what she's all about. I wonder what that means. So again, making it as catchy as possible, especially when you're reaching out to people, you want to make sure that they know exactly what you're all about. Just like we talked about on Facebook, very, very similar. And then you can have people endorse you. I've had endorsements for a long time, so I didn't really have to go back and start this from scratch. However, if you do, if you've just brand new to LinkedIn and you want to get some endorsements here, reach out to some people you already know. Don't just try and get endorsements from random people. They hate that. Okay, it's just like going to someone and saying, hey, could you pretty please like my page? It's like, why would I like your page? You haven't even provided me any value yet, right? So you want to make sure that if you're brand new, reach out to people that you know and that you know would give you a good endorsement for whatever you want, right? Social media, your company, network marketing, internet marketing, whatever category you can think of. And then, you know, there's a bunch of different categories you can do here. Interests. The reason that I put these interests in here is because these are some people that I might like to work with. These are some people that, you know, I would feel would be good contacts for me. And you can also put your contact information. Please don't leave this blank. Make sure you put an additional way besides messaging you to contact you. Okay, because what could happen is, like on mine, I have so many connections that I haven't even gotten to yet. And these people may be trying to get a hold of me. They may be saying, oh my gosh, I really want to join your business. I don't know if they're saying that, but they could be. And they wouldn't have any way to get a hold of me without, because they can't message me. You cannot message someone unless you're connected. Okay, but making a connection is super easy. And then as soon as you make the connection, you're able to message that person. So, but if I'm not connected with them and I haven't gotten to them yet, they at least have my email to contact me with. Okay, so that's really, really important. Projects, you know, I put this course here. You can put whatever you like. Something that might be really cool is if your company does volunteerism or things like that, you know, has a foundation, you might attract some people that love to give back and would be interested in your company just for those reasons. So there's so much on here that you can put that you can't on Facebook. So that's pretty cool. You can also start groups and become a part of groups. This is Ray and I's group, by the way, Network Marketing Collective. That's something we're starting. So if you do want to become a part of that, feel free. Okay. So now let's get into the good stuff. You've gotten your profile set up. Your profile on LinkedIn is so important because, again, people are going to be looking at that and really looking to see what you offer. There is one more thing I want to mention. You can upgrade. Right now I'm in a free account. I'm going to upgrade to a business account. It's about, I think, $30 per month. The major difference is you can reach out to, you can search for people more intricately. So you can do more of an advanced search, and you can reach out to more people that you're actually not connected to. It's pretty easy to connect to people on LinkedIn, so I'm going to test the difference between the two, but that is an option for you. So if you want to go all in, you can upgrade your account. I'm going to upgrade mine, and you can get more advanced with your searches. So here's what we're going to do. You're on your profile right now. You can just go to the top and search for whoever you want. You can put in any name, company, whatever. What I really think you should do is go to the advanced search to the right here. See that button to the right? It says advanced search. Go in there, and this is what's going to come up. This is awesome, by the way. So you can, when you upgrade, see how it says upgrade to access multiple? I haven't upgraded yet because I wanted to kind of show you the difference. You can search in all the different groups you're a part of as well. So if you're active in a certain group on LinkedIn or you have your own, you can just search for people in those groups, which will really, really boost your conversions when you're reaching out to people. But for now, I'm just going to choose first and second connections. What does this mean? This means these are the people that you're directly connected to, and these are the people that they're directly connected to. Okay, I could do group members, but I'm not going to do that. And then you can do the people that your second connections are connected to and everyone else. So you can do a really wide search. But usually, because I have enough connections now, I'm just going to do first and second connections. Okay, and here's where it gets cool. I can search location on the left-hand side here, and I can put in whatever I want. So I can put in my zip code. And there you go, and I can put in within 50 miles. Up here, I can add another location if I want to. I can put language. So let's say I want to search in a different country. I can do that and put their profile language, which is pretty cool. One thing that is really, really cool about the upgraded version is you can put what they're interested in. I can't do this right now because I'm not upgraded. But that's why you putting what you're interested in is so important. So you can search, network marketing, or you can search health and wellness, or travel, or technology, whatever you want here. And that's really neat. So I can't do that right now, but if you do upgrade, you can do that. So it's not necessary to upgrade, but it may be a good idea to test it for a month and see how you like it. You can choose their industry. Right, so I could choose people that are living in near my zip code, right, that are in, let's say, real estate. Where'd it go? Real estate. Pretty neat. So I'm getting really, really specific now. Okay, and you can do a bunch of different things. Play around here, guys. There's not a right or wrong way to search. It's up to you what you want to do. You can put specific keywords in here of people you want to search. Okay, schools, doesn't matter. If you went to a certain college or a certain high school and you want to get in touch with those people, this is a great way to do it. So when I set all that up, I'm just going to click the search button, okay? And this is what's going to come up. Now I'm connected to a lot of these people, but if I wasn't connected, what would happen is these are all people with those different criteria I mentioned. So these are all realtors in my area. It's just awesome. So if you're connected with them, you just click this little message button here, and you're able to message them right away. Enter a subject, enter a message. Really neat. If I'm not connected with them, it's going to show me this connect button. And what I would do is I would hit that, and then it's going to notify me by email once I'm connected with them. And once I'm connected with them, I can go to their profile. Well, I can go to it when I'm not too, which is the cool thing about LinkedIn as well. But I can see more of their profile. I can message them. Really, really neat. The upgraded version will allow you to send some people in mail, which is basically just in their inbox a message without you being connected. So if I was upgraded, I could send Bob in mail, but then see it says upgrade your account. So that's totally up to you. However you want to do that. I don't think it's absolutely necessary, but it will help you stand out, and you will be able to see more people and get really, really specific if you want to. So that's a really, really neat way for you to start searching on LinkedIn. I want to give you some scripts here. If you're searching locally, you can absolutely use the same scripts that we use for Module 1, okay? Here's the major difference, though. If I go into my inbox, okay, let's just go into my inbox here. Look at all these spammy things in here, okay? I don't see one message that's not super spammy. You know, and I've really looked hard because for a while, like I said, I was kind of ignoring LinkedIn because I was so annoyed with all this stuff. And so I've been looking through all my different messages, and it's just so spammy. So what's going to make you stand out in all of these messages to the person that you reach out to? And it's one of two things, okay? It's the subject line, okay? So this is definitely not a bad subject line, okay? But a lot of these are really, really terrible. Congrats on the new gig. This is clearly just an automated message, you know, very, very spammy. So, and I apologize if you're on this webinar and that's you. No worries. It's all a learning curve, right? We're all just learning to get better here. And I definitely used to be like that, so I understand. But here, you know, the subject line and the first sentence is extremely important, if not more so than Facebook. And we talked about that. So I'm going to go back to our PowerPoint here, and I'm just going to give you some scripts that you can use to start reaching out, okay? So again, for local, you can definitely use the ones we talked about in Module 1. Your first sentence is extremely important for both Facebook and LinkedIn, and the subject line is very important as well on LinkedIn. So for professionals, this is something that I've been sending out, and I've been getting a really good response rate. Subject line, love your profile and their first name, okay? I haven't seen anything like that in my inbox. It's, you know, and before you send something, there's a good test to do. Reread it and think to yourself as if you're reading it as your prospect. Okay, so just think that you're reading this as somebody sending this to you, and you're the prospect. What would you think of this particular message? Would you read it? Would you toss it? Would you ignore it? That's a really good first test for you. And here's a simple thing you can do. You don't have to follow this exactly, okay? But it is a good way for you to kind of get your feet wet and start introducing some new stuff. If they're a professional and they seem very, very busy, so I've been targeting some CEOs even on LinkedIn, because you never know. You know, one CEO of a company or one super busy, awesome person, and I could have my whole business set for life. And I really want to start recruiting up on LinkedIn, which is one of the reasons I got involved. I want to recruit up and up and up. Whereas on Facebook, sometimes, you know, I just go for the low-hanging fruit, which is good. But here I wanted to try something different. So it's good to mix it up and use both platforms. So for professionals, love your profile in the subject line. Hi, first name, very important. I wanted to introduce myself. I was looking at your profile and love how you X, Y, and Z. Love how you're really into giving back. Love how you're in real estate in this area. I actually know a lot of realtors. Love how you, just something. Love how you do X, Y, and Z. Love how you're into bungee jumping. I don't care what it is. Very similar to what we've talked about before, right? As someone who I assume is super busy, I won't waste your time, but I work with a lot of people who are really into bungee jumping. So you just repeat exactly what you set up before. And I'm looking to make more connections in that area. If you're open, hoping we can strategize together. And if not, we have some things in common. So great to get to know each other in the meantime. Another thing you can add in here is, by the way, this is not a mass message. I was reaching out to you specifically, and I usually don't do that. Okay, so similar to what we've said, if they're local to you, just follow your scripts from before, but just make sure you follow, this first message formula here. Okay, so that should definitely help. By the way, if you didn't get this down, just screenshot it, whatever you need to do, and this is being recorded for you so you can go back. Here are some openers for you that I wanted you to see. That's very, very simple for you. You can use that whenever you'd like, but this is the general gist of how LinkedIn should work. Okay, so subject line, love your profile, first name. Great to connect, first name, that's fine. Wanted to introduce myself, first name. Any one of these will work. Hi, first name, I want to introduce myself. This is not a mass message. I just loved your profile and see that you, X, Y, and Z. See that you're big into real estate. See that you're actually the CEO of X, Y, and Z. See that you love tennis or travel, whatever that may be, okay? So if you follow these simple guidelines, you will get a lot of responses. And LinkedIn has been great for that. And the cool thing is, even if you don't, you can go through a lot more numbers than you can on Facebook in a day. Now, I still love Facebook because it's the giant, right? It's extremely active. People go on there all the time. They're on there hours and hours per day. That's the statistic. So I don't want you to see this training and by any means neglect your Facebook strategies. Do not do that because Facebook as an entirety is more active. But LinkedIn allows you to go through more numbers. So if you balance both out, you will see a great increase and you can get through more numbers and just build your business faster, which is what I love and what I want for you more than anything. I believe Todd Rourke in the group has been doing a lot of LinkedIn and seeing some great results. So make sure to reach out to him. He took this course and applied it to Facebook and LinkedIn, and he just saw fantastic results on LinkedIn using the strategies we taught. So he's just a rock star, and you may want to ask him some questions there. Okay, awesome. So just some last minute tips before I get into our special surprise. By the way, guys, was this helpful for you? Was this valuable? Just type awesome. Yes, 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 yes. Awesome. Yes, thank you. Absolutely. Awesome. Very much so. I've been waiting for this. Very cool. Okay. Good, good, good. So just some last minute tips for you guys before we release the beast of a surprise. Don't sweat the small stuff, okay? As I mentioned in the beginning of this webinar, if you have a technology stumbling block, that's actually really not what's holding you back. It's something subconscious, and it's just you constantly saying to yourself, I'm confused, I'm overwhelmed, I can't move past this. And I know because I've been there. Okay, so technology should never, ever stop you from moving forward in activity, and just understand that it's always going to change, but there's always a solution. We have the amazing Facebook group. We have Google. We have YouTube that shows you step by step. You have this course. You have the bonuses in this course that shows you how to do everything from start to finish, and is now updated. So don't feel that you need to stop all activity because you hit a roadblock there. Again, think like your prospect. Okay, so before you send anything or you do anything or you post anything on your profile, make sure that you look at it and say, if I were looking at this, would that intrigue me? Would it intrigue me to read more? Would it intrigue me to click or view this person? Okay. 10 a day on LinkedIn minimum. Even if you're part-time, this is where you guys can go through the numbers. 10 a day minimum, no excuses. It's a great way to reach out. And consistency is key. So what I've done in the past couple months is start creating 30-day goals. And we actually participate in something called the Genius Mastermind. And this was something they brought up. Versus doing yearly goals, try doing 30-day goals and see how that works for you, because sometimes yearly goals just seem too far and you get too caught up in that. However, if you just take the next step and give yourself a 30-day goal. For example, this 30-day goal is I want to reach out to 300 people, which is 10 a day, okay, 300 people, and I want to have, 5 signups or 10 signups. If you do that, it seems much more attainable than I want to be, at $100,000 a year in 6 months, right? Doesn't that seem kind of far-fetched? And we can't really grasp onto that sometimes. So having yearly goals and 5-year goals and 10-year goals, fantastic. But create 30-day goals in the interim to really get yourself to the next level. And with everything we've talked about between the scripts and the strategies and the closing techniques, you guys should be just lean, mean recruiting machines on social media from this point forward. And, if you're not, it's probably because you haven't stayed consistent or gone through the numbers. And those of you that have are seeing massive, massive results. So I can't wait to see after this webinar what you create from this. Very, very exciting and pumped. Okay, so surprise time, yay! Some of you are like, what is she going to do here? So how many of you would agree that events are important? Let me just see your hands.